Hello, welcome to Cracking the Cryptic on a day when I'm hanging my head in shame. Yesterday I was solving Decode presented by RTX. Thank you very much to Rocky Rower for telling us this was about the FTC Tech Robotics competition, which the original constructor didn't tell us. And you have the robots have to work on a field that looks exactly like this, apparently, which is fascinating. Now, what was not fascinating was that I completely botched the solve. I was fine for 21 of my 29 minutes. And then, despite having mentioned that this blue line, according to the rules, added up to 14 during an earlier part of the solve, I then decided that, like the red line, it added up to 17, and I completely messed up. So what I'm going to do is take you through how the solve should have gone from here, I think. With my sincere apologies to any of you watching yesterday and to Yaya, the creator of the puzzle. So let's see how it goes from here. What I should have noticed is that since this only adds up to 14 and must have an 8 on because of the 8 there and in this region here, ruling 8 out of all these cells, this must contain 8, 1, 2, 3, which is actually a bit more succinct and easy than what I was doing. So that must contain 8, 1, 2, 3. There's a 1, 2 X-wing there that is going to put 1 in one of those cells and 2 in one of those. 5, 9 are here. They must be in these cells. And this is a 4, 6, 7 triple. Now, only one of those digits is odd and goes in this cell. The other two are even and rule a 4 out of this cell. That becomes a 3. That puts a 3 on the pink line there. We've got a 6, 8 pair there, forcing a 4 into the corner. That's a 6. That 4 in the corner takes 4 out of that cell. Now, we still have to do... Oh, we know that 3 is not on this pink line here, so 2 can't be on it either. And indeed, that 4, 5 must now be accompanied by a 6. We get 7 there. We know that this green line is a 6, 1 pair. This is a 2. We've got a 2, 3 pair in this box, and a 4 must go on their line. The remaining digits in the row are 5 and 7. Last digit in box 5 is a 1. What else have we got? That 7 has ruled a 7 out of there. And that 7 has ruled a 7 out of here. So these are all done at the top. This is not 2 or 6, but it is even, so it's 4 or 8. 9 at the top is seeing a 5. Well, it's seeing that can't be a 9. Then we can do 5, 4 here. Now we know the blue cell is an 8. And we've got a naked 3 there. That leaves us with 1, 2 on the blue line, 3, 8 on that side, 4, 6 on this side. 8, 5, 2, 1. That's probably a 9. One of those two is a 9. Let's see if we've got anything going at the bottom. 4, 9, 5, 6, 8. Might have a naked single. No, I can't find one. That 6 at the top has sorted out the 8, 6 pair down at the bottom. If I could write them in, that would help. That makes this blue circle a 4. That fixes 5, 4, takes 5 off some of these cells. In fact, in this column, this digit is a naked 9 now. So that can't be 9. So again, we've got a 1, 2 pair on a line. And then we can fill in 5, 9 there. 2, 3 here. We've got a 7, 8 pair at the top that's done. That 4, 6 pair is now resolved. So now the central columns... We've got 3, 5, 6 here. This digit can't be 5, but it must be odd. So that's 3, in fact. 5 and 6, 2, 7, 9. And we know how they go in the next row. Then I'm looking at 6, 4, 7 here. I can fill those in. That's probably going to allow me to do the 3, 4, 7 set over here. Yes, it is. We get a 3 in the corner. No celebration today. I've got a 1, 2 here. 3, 8, 5 still to go, 5 there, 3, 8, and all these remaining deadly patterns of 3, 8 and 1, 2 are going to be resolved by the even and odd cells. We get 8 there, and we get 1 in the odd cell here. And that is the solution that I should have come up with. Now, my problem was compounded by the fact that the setter had not included an embedded solution in their grid. So I was a little unlucky in that, having got to the point I got to, and then deducing that this cage added up, or believing that this cage added up to 17, it turned out that from that point there was only one solution where that occurred. And so I neither found multiple solutions at the end, which would have sent me back to see if I'd got something wrong, nor ran into an impossibility which would have done the same thing, and thus concluded that I had solved the puzzle correctly. And I then clicked on the link to make a puzzle with my embedded solution, the wrong solution, which threw a lot of you out, obviously, when you tried the puzzle. So, apologies all round. That is the correct solution to yesterday's puzzle. I may take down the video because I don't like having a video up where I have missolved the puzzle. And then we will go back to this puzzle. But first of all, I'm going to mention the hunt, the Sudoku hunt on Patreon, which is the December reward, is The Wind in the Willows. And you can help Mole with his advent calendar if you can get him through all the chapters of his book. That is great fun. There's also connections and crossword videos and a new type coming up tomorrow as well for your feedback if possible. So do let me know what you think of a couple of new puzzles I was trying. And also we've got our apps which feature Line Sudoku and Arrow Sudoku and Killer Sudoku, but also Classic Sudoku 2, the newest one, and the Worms by the likes of Phistomefel and Michael Lefkowitz. Do check those out. And Sven's Sudoku pad is linked under the video too. But the rules in this puzzle is called Tracking the Triptych. I see what you've done there. And the triptych is a set of 3 T's. We can see one of them there, one of them there, and one of them here. And this is by PB45, who I think has featured before. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Let's do the rules. 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. In each sequence of 3 cells along the peach line, like those 3, there is 1 digit from each of the groups 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9. That's an entropic line. Boxes 5 and 9 are magic squares where each row, column, and diagonal, 3-cell diagonal, adds up to the same number. Digits along an arrow sum to the number in the attached circle. Digits within a cage sum to the number shown, so 23 in that case. A number outside the grid shows the sum of the cells on the indicated diagonal, so those cells will add up to 25. And a small arrow points to the smaller digit in the affected domino, so that it's like an inequality sign. That's smaller than that. Okay, those are the rules of tracking the triptych, which PB45 claims is approachable. We'll see. There's also not a solution embedded in this one, so I will try and get it right this time. I mean, it's probably my age, isn't it? Let's get cracking. So we could start with the 23 diagonal. 3 different cells because they're in the same box. That must be a 9, 8, 6 triple. These 3 are on the same, they're on the entropic line, so they're all different entropies. The minimum entropies are 7, 4, and 1, which add up to 12. So there's 1 degree of freedom. And that means we could have 1 or 2, 4 or 5, 7 or 8 in those 3. Now, with an entropic line, we can determine whatever these 2 are, they're different. And whatever those 2 are, that is the 3rd type, and that is the 3rd type, to make up these 2 sets of 3. So we can work out that the types alternate every 3 cells along the line. And if I've coloured correctly, that's 1 type in red. Then after them come another entropy type in yellow. And the final entropy type will be all the other cells on the line in blue. Oops, there we go. So those are the 3 entropy types on the line. Don't know how that's going to help. two of the entropies, yeah, here. So these can't be middly digits in yellow, which is a shame. I like using yellow for middly. These must be low, because on this arrow we've got a single cell there and 3 digits to add to that. If these were middly, there'd be at least 4 and 5, adding up to 9, plus something there would take this over 10. So I'm going to convert my yellow to light blue for the time being. Then I'll make my blue yellow. Then I'll make my light blue. No, idiot. I'll make my blue into green. Then I'll make this light blue into dark blue, which is my low digit color. And we know that dark blue is low. Do we know that this digit is high? Does it matter? No. I want to find the digits on the line, not the digits off them particularly. So dark blue is low. That's one of each. This line, I don't know, 25 is such a middly total. The average Sudoku digit is 5. 5 lots of 5 means that 25 is the most averagey possible total for that clue. Okay, these are low. This is all the 3 lows in this column. There are only 3 lows in each row, column and box. So this must be at least middly. And those add up to at least 3. So this must be middly and this must be high, because once you add 3 or more to any number, you're changing its entropy set. So these are different entropy sets and neither can be low. Because we've had all 3 lows in the column, that's why. Right, so this is high, unsurprisingly. This is, and this is middly now. Now I have chosen colours very dangerously there. I don't know that that's green and red. These are different from each other. That is middly and that is high. So those are yellow and orange. I'm foolishly being suckered into using green and red because green just feels more middly to me and red feels high. This is how I make these logical errors. Yesterday wasn't a logical error, it was a memory error. Anyway, these are low, that's low. There's not a lot of clues in this apart from the line. Oh, the magic squares. Right. In the magic squares, we always have to have a 5 in the middle. Now we know that because the middle contributes to 4 different... first of all, you know the total of every row, column and box because we've shared the secret with you a few times before. The total of every box is 45. Divide that by 3 for each 3 rows. 15 is the total on each magic square. Now, which digit can go into 4 different totals of 15? The answer is 5. So that's the central digit of both of these. And that obviously is a middly digit, and that does mean that all the greens are yellow. And that means that all the reds are orange, which is high today. And we have got yellow here and blue here. So I think this must be orange. Also, we've got a 5 there. We must have a 1 in one of these cells. And this is either 8 or 9. This either adds up to 8 or 9. Right. Oh, in fact, these two, this adds up to 15 because this is a magic square in the central box. So that can't be 3. Also, we do know something else. Where do 1 and 9 go in the magic square? Do they go in the corner to be part of 3 different totals? And the answer is no, because the only way you can use 1 is with 159 or 168 to make 15. So 1 and 9 have to go in these orthogonally adjacent to the center cells, the even parts. And therefore, since 1 is going to have to be accompanied by 2 cells here, and again, every time we are putting in digits either side of the 5, they're either both odd together or both even. It ends up that the corners have to all be even, and these have to be odd. So that's a 1, that's a 9, and this central magic square will have a 3-7 pair there. Now, that's found the 1 on the arrow and on in the column. This digit is going to be odd. It's 1 or 3, so this is... No, hang on. Why do I think that's going to be odd? I don't know. It could be 2 or 4. It can't be 4. It's 1, 2, or 3. Oh, it has to be odd because of what I just said here. So it is 1 or 3, and that's 7 or 9. I can colour that. Now, this adds to 23. How are we using that in this magic square? Those had to add to 10 because they're flanking this 5 to make a 15 total. So that's 33. So these two add to 12, and this row adds to 15. 15 minus 12 puts a 3 in the middle. So that's 1, and that's 9. This is going to make up this total 15, so it's 7. Then we have 2, 4, 6, 8, but it has to be 2, 4 flanking the 9, 6, 8 flanking the 1, and you can't put 8 together with 7 or that would already get to 15, so we've completed this magic square. 2 there sees that cell, makes it a 3. Actually, the 9 was trying to do the maths for me as well. Oh, the things I don't remember anymore. I mustn't use it as an excuse now. We've got 2, 4, 6, and 8 still to place here. Oh no, the 9 has to be flanked by 2 and 4. I just told you that here. So the 1 has 6 and 8 around it. And the 6 is the middly digit and the 8 is the high one. And then we can just add the diagonals to 15. Then we can add the verticals, and we've finished the 2 magic squares. And that is always quite an easy start. Right. Now we have a 5 on this arrow and a 7 there. All the arrow clues are done. That is middly, and it sees 5 and 6. Yes, this is the sort of thing we have to do now. This is high and sees 7 and 9. This is high and sees 7. This is low and sees 1. This is middly and sees 6. This is high and sees 7. This is middly and sees 5. This is high and sees 8. That's low. This is middly. That's high, and that's 9. Right, on this, it's not high, thank goodness, because the 13 total wasn't going to work. This is blue is low, so that's 1 or 2. This one is high, 7 or 9. Now, there was 1 degree of freedom here, so 9 wouldn't work. That must be a 7. These two add up to 6. They must be 1 and 5. That's now a 2. This is middly. This is high. Let's try and get these right. That's high. This is middly. And this is low and not 2. Okay, so we've got 2, 3, and 9 to put in this column. And 2 of the cells can't be 2s, so that is the 2. 4, 6, and 9 in column 8. This one can't be 4. These ones I don't know. This digit is 1, 3, or 6, but this inequality arrow says that we can't have the 1 on top. That is 3 or 6, and that's a 3, 6, 9 triple. These are 1 and 7, and this is now a 6, 8, 9 triple over here. 6, 1, 8, 6 sees that cell, so box 6 is getting filled in. It is quite approachable, thank goodness. I mean, I've taken my time, but it's good on a day when I've had to do another puzzle as well, effectively. 6, 1, 8, 3, 9, 7. That's a 2. This is a 4, 5 pair. Haven't touched this 28 cage yet. Probably we get to that in a moment. This digit sees 4 and 8. That's 6 or 7. Oh, this can't be 6 now. That can't be 8. Found an 8, 9 pair in row 7. 1, 4, 5 still to go. This digit can't be 4, but in its position it can't be 1. So that's 5. That's 4, that's 1. Then we get 3 and 1 done up here. This digit is lower than 5. It's not 3 or 1 or 4. It's 2. Oh, I haven't used the 25 clue yet, and we're beginning to get some traction on that. 3, 5, 2. We need a 1 in this box. 1, 2, 3, 5. This digit is 4 or 8 by Sudoku. But I don't know which one. So maybe I should try and get this 28 clue done first. Don't know quite how to go about that. 1 is in one of those cells. Let's just do some Sudoku. 5 is looking at that cell, so that's a 6. Now this yellow has to be 5. That 6 is seeing 1 or 7 there, 1 or 9 here. 6, 2, 1, 5 in this row. 2, 9, 1, 5, 3. That's 4 or 8. That's 4, 7 or 8. One of these two is a 6, yes, I guess. Oh, look, there's a 6, 7, 9 triple in the bottom row. So that's a 2, 5 pair. And this is a 3, 7 pair, and we do know the order. So there we go. That 3 looks at this cell, makes it a 1. This becomes a 7. That takes 7 out of those. Now I've got a 4, 8 pair. That gives me 9, 1. This is 5 and 3. That's not 9. In this row we've got 3, 4, 8, 7. Now we could add up this box. 28 plus 6 is 34. Take that away from 45. These two add up to 11. They're not 5, 6 because of that pair. They're not 7, 4 because of that pair. They're not 2, 9 because neither of those could go in there. So it is 8, 3. And that is probably going to be very helpful in the quest to complete the puzzle. We get a 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Now, this is good progress. 2, 4, 3, 5, 1, 7. We need an 8 in this column. That has to be here. Then the other two are 6 and 9 in an order to be determined. I've not worked on this 25 clue yet. It's probably time to do that. It's the last significant clue in the puzzle. So we have a 4. Let's look at the minima. 6, 10, 14, 24. We can only add 1 to the minima along here. So we can't add it to the 6. We can't add it to the 4. So maybe those digits are going to help us with the rest of the puzzle. They are. They definitely are. So that's a 9. This one at the top is a 9. Then we've got a 2 to place up here. 9, 5, 1, 3, 7, 8. That's 2 or 4. That's 2, 4 or 6. Right, we're going back to this diagonal. 10, 21. That's a 4. There we go. That's going to sort us out. 2, 5, that's a 6, that's a 2, 4 in the corner, 6 there, and 4 there. That is a very approachable puzzle, thank goodness, PB45. Great timing. Now, I will create a new link with this solution, but before I publish it in the description field of this video, I will check that it definitely obeys all the rules this time. And again, I sincerely apologize for last time. I also made a mistake on yesterday's Wordle where, having played acute and found that C was actually not in the word, I still thought the next answer, cast, must be right, which was a huge error, led me into a 6th guess where 4 possibilities still all existed. What were they? Well, it doesn't matter, you may not have seen it yet. But although 2 of those words, maybe even 3 of them, had occurred as solutions before, I don't memorize those. So I felt very lucky to keep my Wordle streak alive yesterday. It was a terrifying time. The best of times, the worst of times. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you to the vast majority for your kindness in forgiving mistakes. It is indeed. To err is human, but to forgive, divine. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.